Do it all with Steel Battery. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
How are you doing, Kim? It's so good to see you again.
So good to see you too. I'm doing very well. Loving the summer weather. Again, spending a lot of time in the boat. Do you know what I did?
What?
I learned how to surf.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking some more
lessons. That's super hard. I've tried it before. It's ridiculously hard.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Yeah. Were you able to get up?
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
For like a very short period of time.
It counts.
But
where did you go? Lawrencetown?
Yeah, Lawrencetown.
Nice.
So it's kind of just propelled me in the right direction to want to try it more. But yeah, I started a new TV show called Locally Owned for Eastlink, which I'm hosting.
Nice.
So that's on an episode.
Okay. So is there a surf company that rents and you go? Okay. So what's the business?
Lawrencetown Surf Company.
Lawrencetown Surf. Okay. Shout out to them. Right on. That's super cool. I tried it once. I used to live on the West Coast. I lived in Vancouver Island for a few years, and I got to try it not in Tofino, but in Ucluelet, which is just down the coastline. It's like the next community down. So if you're to drive out to Tofino, instead of like going right to Tofino, you go left to Ucluelet. And so I tried it there. This a long time ago, and it was exhausting. Like you're just falling asleep on the board. You're so tired and like sweating, but you're also in the water. Anyway, but it was super cool. It was a great workout, and I was terrible at it. I struggled to get up, but I had a blast doing it. It was good fun.
Nice.
Yeah. I'd do it again.
I am dying to know. What have you been up to?
I've been busy. I was in Ontario a week ago. It's a bit of a blur. I was hosting the national championships for the Steel Timber Sports Series. They have a division for under 25-year-old competitors that are basically, it's called the rookie division, but you can do it multiple years. It's like an amateur level. It's a way of kind of building the series from the ground up so that there's competitors that can make it to the pros later on. Nice. So I was hosting that. It was a great event. It was in Chesley, Ontario, small community, and it was terrific. We had three, so there's 5 different disciplines, chopping, sawing, things. Three new national records broken in the same day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. So that was last week. And then next week later this week, it's all a blur. I'll be co-hosting along with Darren Hudson, the Canadian Axe Throwing Championships here in Nova Scotia in the community of Barrington, which leads me to our guest today, who is a resident of Barrington, Nova Scotia, and happens to be the president of the Nova Lumberjack Society, the presenting organization of the Canadian Axe Throwing Championship. She's also an incredible axe thrower. She has podiumed 3 times at the World Championships. She has also taken home a title at the Swiss Open, and she's an amazing person and a good friend of mine, and I'm so happy to have her here today. Please welcome Suzy Atwood. So nice to see you. Hi. Welcome once again to the Double Better Podcast. Yeah. So great to have you.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be here.
Traveled all the way up from South Shore.
I did. Yes.
Also traveled from South Shore.
I did, but not as far as you. Yeah. I have to say right now, it's really nice to have another female in the room.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Doing my best here.
Nothing against you. It's just, we love the female energy.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. I agree too. Suzy, I know how busy you are. Mm-hmm. I appreciate it immensely that you've taken time out of your day to be here because I recognize what's coming. There's a wave of people coming to your community, Barrington, for the Canadian Axe Throwing Championships later this week. Yeah. What's going on with that event? What, like, competitors, spectators, all these things, like what can we expect from this year's Canadian Championships?
Well, we are very excited to be hosting the Canadian Axe Throwing Championships in Barrington.
Yeah. Where'd you get your pun from?
Yeah, I have a lot of them. I pick them up from Darren all the time. Yes, yeah. I have great lobster ones too, so those ones are mine.
We'll get them in. We got all the time.
So we have 90 competitors coming in for the championships from 7 nations.
Nice.
So super excited.
It is,
yeah. And it's just a wonderful time. I was saying to my friend Una, who's a competitor from Ireland, it's like, can we just not throw axes and just hang out
Just
for the
socialize.
weekend, with everyone.
Yeah.
The competition just gets in the way of, having the fun, So
I hope she's coming early so that you do have that time.
she is coming Wednesday.
Okay.
Yes. My friend Amy is picking her up at the airport just to give me a little break so I don't have to, make the trip. So give them some time to hang out because they hung out together in Slovenia last year when I competed there.
Oh, nice.
So they'll give them some little time together, driving down and so we're excited.
It must be special for you to know that like all this work that you put in and you did it a few years ago, of course, with the world championships and very similar, like lots of competitors, lots of countries, all this, to bring all of these people from around the world and around Canada and the US and to your community. Like, what does that mean to you to have all of these individuals that come? And I find they come, and in my experience, and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know this existed. Like, I love Nova Scotia. I love the South Shore. I love Canada if they're coming from overseas. And they always seem to come back. Like, a lot of the people I see that are coming this year are folks that have been here many times, and it's all because of these axe throwing events.
Yeah, I know.
Which is really cool.
And they love coming to Barrington, which it makes my heart happy when they love it as much as I do. And to be able to see it through their eyes, which is always wonderful, just, to get that experience because we take things for granted that we're seeing every day. So I just I love that they love it so much. And, we're rural Nova Scotia. We're 2.5 hours from the airport. So we're, the southern end of Nova Scotia, and we're probably the lesser known area in Nova Scotia. We're not, we don't hold those icons that, Peggy's Cove and, Lunenburg and those kind of places. But when people come, they love it. And they realize, what a gem that we have in Barrington, and the people make it that way, I think is a big part.
Lobster capital of Canada?
Lobster capital of Canada. Yeah, we own that title. It's not Shediac, contrary to popular belief. But Shediac, we're good friends with the folks in Shediac. They're the lobster capital of the world, and we're lobster capital of Canada. We ship all our lobster to them. So,
are they counting your lobster in their numbers?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, bit of double counting here, because. Kim and I discuss a little bit every time we're preparing for a podcast, and we try to make our cocktails very unique. So
we do, and customized to our guests.
So Kim, why don't you tell us about what we're having today?
Well, we have something else here from the South Shore. So this is from Ironworks Distillery.
Love them.
This is called Heart Iron. Have you ever tried this before?
I have not tried that one. I've tried a few of their liquors, but not that one.
See if I can get a good cork pop here for everyone.
You may have me taking a bottle of it home with
Done that before.
On my way.
So what's really interesting about this one, it's aged 5 years, and I am a huge bourbon lover. It's aged in bourbon barrels.
Oh, nice.
And then it's disputed whether it's French oak or Hungarian oak, but it's in a sherry cask for a year. So I love the very first bourbon I've ever kind of got hooked on was called Angel's Envy. And it was also finished in sherry casks. So I was like, well, this is hitting some of my marks here as to why I should choose this one. But the reason behind the Heart Iron name is really cool. So, if you're familiar, Ironworks Distillery used to be a blacksmith shop. And the blacksmith that worked on the Blue Nose created this piece called the Heart Iron. And it's the only metal red piece on the Blue Nose. And it is in the shape of a heart, and it holds together two sails. Yeah. So I was like, I think this is the one.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you want to try it on its own, I really, really like it. So I would encourage you just to take a little tiny sip just to kind of get a bit of the flavor profile.
Maybe we may as well try it.
It's just a little tiny bit.
Okay.
Maybe smell it first. See if you pick up on
the little mixers,
anything,
little drink stirs. They're inspired by Darren. Little
Very cute.
double bitter drink mixers.
I like that.
So right off the top, I'm getting like a lot of like dried fruit flavors or scents, I should say.
That is very smooth. Very, very smooth. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
You said you were pretty excited about this whiskey for today, and I can see why.
That's really good.
It is really good, right?
I didn't even make a face.
Oh my gosh.
You held it.
I'm so proud of you.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
That was very good.
Powered through.
So,
Were you pinching your leg as you went? No, that's super smooth.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really great.
I like
It's 42%. So it's
Nice.
It's pretty hefty. And the other thing that I find really interesting about it is there is peat, like peated malted barley in there. I'm not usually one who likes that. There's one malted barley that's from PEI and the other one is imported from the UK, and that is the peated one. But I don't tend to notice it all that much.
It's not a peaty whiskey though. I don't find like. Of course, it's a classic. Like once you say it, you're searching for it in your palate, and you can kind of get a little bit of that on your tongue. But it's not definitely not overpowering. It's not like a Scotch from Isle of Skye or something like that. You know, something like Laphroaig or something like that. It's gonna like hammer you. It's super smooth, really good. So what else is going in today's drink? Yeah,
so we've got a new bitter. It is Scrappy's Bitters, but it's actually Scrappy. Alpine, and I thought,
trees
used to being in and amongst trees. And then we also have
alpine pine, targets. That's we'll stretch it out. We'll whatever. Wood, trees, fibers.
And then we have a dried cocktail garnish in orange. So we're going to add that into it.
I like the orange.
And
nice
then in terms of the wood that we're going to be smoking, we have a little bit of maple and oak. And I believe both of those are made, what makes lobster traps. Am I correct in saying that?
That's
the old-fashioned lobster
love
traps.
it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So we got lots of love for Barrington and for Suzy in this cocktail.
Love it. Mm-hmm. Well, while Kim is making that, I want to talk a little bit about your journey as an axe thrower, because there we go.
Sorry, you're gonna have to start that again.
Wow, unbelievable!
Did you get that?
Keep it together over there.
Just a little tiny bit of whiskey.
We do our best around here, Suzy.
In this country, we believe in what we're made of. Grit. Drive. The will it takes to be different. We've been called to serve this great land. Because we were made for this.
You've had a lot of success. I know you're humble. You don't like to talk about yourself. You don't like to talk about your accolades, but you've podiumed 3 times at the World Championships, twice as a team and once as an individual.
Yep.
You won the Swiss Open, the women's division over there, which is incredible, like to travel to Switzerland and win that. And I find, like, I've seen your progression as a thrower in the past, I'm going to say 6-7 years, I guess. But I know it started before that. And I'm just kind of curious about how you got into it, how you got introduced, and then some of the early kind of things, because they're all building blocks, of course, right?
Yes, yeah. And had you told me, 20 years, I would have been throwing axes at my age, and competitively and around the world, I would have said, you're totally kidding me. That's not reality. But here I am, and I love it. Like, it's just been the moment I picked up my first axe and threw it, I hit a bullseye.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you hit a hole in one the first time you played golf?
No.
Oh, well.
I'm still waiting.
But it took me a while to pick up an axe. I mean, the reason I picked up an axe would have been because, I started dating Darren. So
That
But-
prerequisite?
But,
That was in his profile?
No,
Must throw axes?
actually, it was not. Because it's funny that I don't even think I threw an axe until 2 years into dating Darren.
Really?
He actually entered me in a lumberjack competition in Caslow, BC. We were only dating like not even a month, I don't think. And he was going and he's like, you should come with me. And I'm like, okay. And then little unknown to me, he signed himself up and he signed me up for everything.
No.
Everything. And I'm like,
What
Aaron,
events?
I
What
don't,
events were
I
you
don't
doing?
do that stuff. He signed me up for log rolling. I'd never been on a log before. He signed me up for the choker race. I didn't even know what that
God.
was.
These are ridiculous. These are very hard events.
He signed me up for stock saw, so
Sure.
chainsaw.
Sure.
Gave me a quick lesson before we took
Well, that
off.
was nice
A
of him.
quick
Yeah,
lesson
yeah.
with that.
Oh, we had a quick lesson. He showed me how to set a choker because I didn't even know what a choker was
Sure.
at that time.
But we don't even use them on the East Coast. Well,
Yeah.
we do, but small ones. On the West Coast, they're like
so I was
30, 40 feet long and
He taught me how
50,
to
60
set a
pounds.
choker.
Sure.
Didn't really know what a choker race entailed until I got into it. I think we did the Jack and Jill, probably, the bow
That's
saw, all that stuff, which is,
That's good,
I
yeah.
could
Yeah,
handle
yeah.
that stuff.
Double block. That's kind of a classic. That's
Yeah.
a good way to get introduced to the sport
Yes,
in general,
yeah,
like lumberjack
yeah.
sports. Yeah.
So, when we showed up to Castle, I think, the other competitors saw, Darren's bringing this girl from from Barrington, you
Yeah.
know.
She'll know. Oh, she's in the log
land
roll.
of the log rollers, the world champion log rollers. Oh, we're
Yeah.
little did they know.
First ever time on a log.
Yes.
Of
And
course.
I was traumatized after that
Oh, no.
experience, yeah. That's a whole story in itself. I spent months waiting for, searching YouTube for the videos because I was just like, that can't go up on YouTube because it was so bad. And
Oh,
it was
no.
in front of a lot of people. The choker race was actually a Canadian championships.
Yep.
It was that title. And when they called my name, because everybody runs in pairs, when they called my name, there was no other name called. So I looked at Darren and I said, I'm running this by myself. That means everyone's watching me. He's like, I'll scratch you. I'll scratch you. And I'm like, I came this far. I'll do it. I'm
no
going to do
way. Good for
so,
you.
anyways, it's a choker race. If you don't know, you're holding on to this big, heavy metal wire type thing, like a rope.
It's a metal
Yeah.
cable, probably
Okay,
like an inch in
okay.
diameter.
All right.
So you hold on to this and then you run across the log that's in the water and spinning.
Excuse you?
You run across the log and then you have to turn and you run to a big log. You set your choker around it and then you have to run back across the log, which is now bobbing in the water because you've already ran across it. And so when I ran across, I made it across the log the first
nice.
time.
Oh, wow.
Yep, shocked me.
That's huge. That's incredibly difficult.
It shocked the hell out of me
Yeah.
that so much that I wiped out because I was running so fast. I wiped out, got back up, set my choker, came back, and I was like a foot away from the end, and I fell into the frigid waters that's, they fill the ponds with the water from the glacier,
Oh my
from the
God.
mountains. So yeah, fell in and got out and finished it, and I didn't come last.
Hey,
Oh, good for
there you go. Well, we're
That's the
gonna
most
we're gonna
important
toast
thing.
to your first choker race. I'll tell you something. I've ran a bunch of choker races when I lived out in the West Coast and competed out there, and terrible at it. And very few times did I make it across the pond
Yeah.
clean. They call it a clean run when
Right.
you run across, and I had like an epic fall in Squamish where I kind of went in and like ended up going in and my feet were like in the air and the cable went down to the bottom of the pool and I was like dragging it out and and then you're toast because you're running the rest of the race soaking wet.
Right.
And you've got to jump over it with called bunk logs and like set the anyway.
It sounds
It's-
really intense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it is. It's one of those ones that you can get injured doing it because you could fall off the log and hit like the pool. It's a pool, right? So you can
Yeah.
hit the side of the pool and stuff. But anyway, it was It's a tough race. It's super cool that you did it. How are we doing here? We
Well,
got
yours is almost done smoking here.
yeah.
So
Love it.
Then
It
it's just
smells
me.
amazing. Smells so good.
Ironically,
I didn't add any cherries because
think
I
we need
have
'em.
actually added a little bit of cherry juice
Give
to
'em a
this
little-
in
Did you-
replacement of simple syrup.
Did you take my
Ooh.
axe?
that's nice.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, not complete without the axe.
Yeah, we
there
need
you
a
go.
little- Need a little axe. How's yours coming? Is yours good? Oh my God. See, I love the smoke. I'm a big fan of like the smoky finish.
Yeah.
I think it adds a lot. We're gonna let Kim
Hold that here,
top up
yes.
hers.
Yeah.
Kim, would you ever try a choker race?
It sounds really intense for me. I don't even know where I'd begin with
Yeah.
timber sports, to be honest.
Jack and Jill. That's the
Yeah,
way to
Jack
go.
and
So it's
Jill.
a
Yeah.
guy and girl pulling the crosscut saw back and forth, and it's kind of you work with each other, and there's some it's fluid, and you figure it out as it goes, and that's a good intro. And axe throwing, of
And
course.
axe throwing. But
right?
ironically, that was the only
You didn't do
event
that?
Darren didn't sign me up for.
How rude.
Unbelievable. She's not ready. She's not ready.
No, I guess I wasn't.
You
Yeah.
need a clean run in the choker race before I give you an axe. Okay, so that's your first lumberjack
That was-
competition,
yes, yeah.
and you get
Yeah.
baptized in the pool.
Yeah, I did.
And
yes.
then, how long is it before you actually get into axe throwing? Because
So,
you had
yeah.
is it Wild Axe Women?
I,
out of Barrington?
yeah.
Oh yeah. How about a toast
Yes,
to the choker
that
race
sounds-
and your
yeah.
introduction to lumberjack sports? Cheers. See how this is, Kim.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Well, that's really
Yeah,
refreshing.
That is
That's
super
very
fun. That's a nice
nice. Yeah.
summery, right?
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
very nice.
The
I like
Alpine
that.
Bitters is surprisingly really nice in there.
That's it.
Very
I have
nice.
one more.
Mhm.
Delicious.
I'm so
She's
glad.
done it again.
Yes, yes.
Unbelievable. All the recipes available in our bio if you ever want to make this drink. I love the idea of the combination of the two woods as well.
Yes.
Unique. That's just right.
It's really nice.
When it counts, Steel delivers. One battery, over 60 tools. All day performance, all day comfort, all day power. Ready for any job. Clearing, cutting, trimming, shaping. Steel Pro Battery. Built for work.
All right. So tell us about Wild Axe Women and the how you got into axe throwing originally.
Yeah. So I guess I threw my first axe at the park. I don't even know what brought that on. I guess Darren had the lumberjack experience there, so that we had the, everything set up there. And just that feeling after, throwing the first one and hitting a bullseye, and just that feeling, that you get from that, it was just like, yeah, I'm hooked. But I really didn't think, I didn't do it a whole lot then. And then 2014 kind of came along, and I guess I just wanted to let other women experience that same experience that I felt, and traditionally axe throwing has been, a male dominated sport,
Right.
as most lumberjack sports, I guess,
Yep.
have been. And there wasn't really an opportunity for other people to try it. So I put out a call on Facebook and said, is anyone interested in, forming a league or, for the summer? And I got some interest. It was crazy. The amount of women that kind of signed up that first year, they all ended up buying axes and targets for their own backyard. Wow. And I was hooked, and I just went from there. And it was just giving, hanging out at the river, beside the river, throwing
spot.
axes that's what all the women just loved to come.
Right.
We did it once a week, and it was their kind of getaway. We had chairs, and you're just sitting there by the river, waiting your turn to throw axes, and just giving that bit of empowerment to women in doing something that's completely probably outside of their comfort zone. That's what a lot of women were kind of saying, this is not something that I would have ever thought, as I did, thought of doing. And, so Wild Axe Women was born, and then from Wild Axe Women, really Timber Lounge, was born. So yeah,
2016.
2016. We opened Timber Lounge in Halifax on Agricola Street, and the rest is kind of history, I think. So
I want to ask you a question about, do you find that some of these girls are like this therapeutic? They're like, you had mentioned being empowered.
Yes.
So, maybe it's kind of like a bit of that yoga mindset too, where you just like leave all your cares behind for a little while and then
for sure. That's
unleash on something.
Yes. Yeah. Well, my friend, she'll say she came up with this saying, is axe throwing is my yoga.
Okay. I love that.
So we say that all the
that.
time. I mean, and it's like, it's so, you can just forget about your worries of the day when you're doing it and you're just having, fun with others. And that's, even every Tuesday night when we throw in our league night, that's men and women mixed now. It's just, you just forget about everything. It's, great for your mental health for sure. Like I have, when I'm having a bad day, if I go down to the park and throw axes, I feel better.
I love that.
Yeah, I really do. It's just, you just feel better. And there's nothing more satisfying than hitting that bullseye, even just hitting the target. And, and for some women, that's what it was. It was just, hitting the target for the first time. And I see it. I had some relatives from Ontario come last week, and we had them all down at the park, and just that satisfaction of hitting the target for the first time and seeing that in somebody's face. And that's what's great about the Timber Lounge is, it's giving that experience that you wouldn't really have anywhere else. And it's great kind of just mental health, and it's my me time for sure. Yeah.
When you can't be on your phone. You have to be fully engaged in what you're doing, even if it's just for that round of throwing. And there's something to that, like that whole point of yoga. Like I completely agree, because it is about being like kind of zen, like you're focused on the task at hand. You're really you're very present.
Yep.
You're breathing, you're focused on your breathing and controlling. And really all that's in your mind is like, it's that kind of accuracy, precision thing where you're just trying to find like, okay, that's my point. And I'm releasing, and like nothing else can be going. If anything, if you're thinking about anything else, pretty much you're duffing that throw.
You are.
And I do it every time. And
I do it too.
And like, oh yeah, I was thinking about something else.
I thought about this, or I listened, looked out the window and saw a truck, or just, it
happens easy. It's an incredibly challenging sport.
Yes.
To get at the point that where you're consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Like I find you can get to the point pretty quickly where you can, hit the target over and over. That becomes kind of your first step. And then it becomes maybe hitting threes over and over and fours over and over. The scoring goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 5 being the bullseye. And eventually you get to the point where in training, you're throwing very well. You're hitting 4s and 5s and the odd 3, but you're going pretty well. But to take that to competition is a huge step. And I found like that's one thing I've noticed with you, especially in your progression as a thrower, is not only, you become a terrific thrower. Obviously, I follow your progress in Axis Squared and all that. But I remember we went to Germany together in 2017, just the four of us.
It's my
yourself,
first competition.
Wow.
There you
My
go.
first competition was the World Championships. Yeah.
Which is incredible.
You really set the bar high with this sport. Like, oh my God.
And I remember like you had a lot of, I think trepidation about stepping up to the line in a big competition, which anybody would, but also it was like, I like throwing, but I don't know if competition is my thing.
Yeah.
And, fast forward these years and now it's like, I can't wait for this competition.
Yeah.
I'm going to
So
go
what
in there.
did you do to like talk yourself through those moments?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. Like my throwing has changed. When I went to Germany for the first time, the way I was throwing when I first went there to the way I was throwing by the time I left was completely different.
Oh wow.
And I've changed my throw. I feel like it's changed as I compete. I won't say, like, I will say that I really didn't take the sport seriously until we hosted it in my hometown.
Right.
I wasn't training. Like, I would be throwing, on a somewhat regular basis, but I didn't really consider myself training for the sport.
Right.
That first World Championships, and then we went to Sweden in 2019. I didn't train for that. I was going for fun, and just to be in a different country and throwing. And yeah, I wanted to do well, but it wasn't something that I was really taking really serious and really training on a regular basis until we hosted. So when we hosted in 2021, two,
Yeah. Supposed to be 21.
yeah, when we hosted that, I was like, oh gosh, competing in your hometown, which is the worst. Take me anywhere around the world to compete, but competing in your hometown, the pressure that you feel,
Everyone's eyes know you.
Yeah, they know you, and
they definitely
everything.
know her
Yeah.
for sure. It's like
so. The last minute, there was the German championships in June of that year, I think. Last minute, 2 weeks, I think, or so before the competition, I said to Darren, I have to go. I have to get a competition under my belt so I can try to beat these competition nerves, because competition nerves are, throwing in your backyard is by yourself is completely different than competing.
Your training technique. It's a different.
Like you can be throwing wonderful, and then you get up to the target to throw in a competition and you're shaking and all of that. The nerves just set in. So I was just like, I got to go to Germany. So I took off by myself and went to Germany for the German championships, and I ended up winning.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That was my first competition.
It's a long list of accolades. That's right.
It was the
forgot
first.
You won that.
It was
That's
the first one
right.
that I really won.
Right.
And I was up. It was a knockout elimination, and I was up with Keola that you'll be chatting with, and Keola is a force,
Oh, yeah.
and when we threw those last throws, and I was like, I think I won, and I just teared right up, and it was that feeling was like wonderful. And it's really not about winning. It's great to be on the podium, that's for sure, but it's really when I started taking the sport really serious, and now I train for it. I try to throw on a regular basis. I try to get, in my head as best as I can.
The mental game is huge.
And you have to compete. You have to, and unfortunately you have to, for the most part, you have to travel overseas for good competition to be competing. So I really rely, and of course it gets expensive. So I have great sponsors that help me out with being able to afford to travel to compete. So the business community in my hometown have really kind of helped with that. And I wouldn't be able to do it without that, because it gets expensive, the flights, the accommodations, and all of that. So there's no
real prize money in the sport. No. So it's bragging rights, essentially.
It is,
and passion. It's not.
And passion, yeah. I just love it. I love the sport. I love the people. It's really about the people. It's like
the Axe fam.
Oh my gosh, it just gives me goosebumps just, thinking about the Axe fam, because it's really what the sport is all about. Mm-hmm. We're all cheering. And I just had somebody recently that was a spectator at the World Championships here in Barrington, and they just were blown away about the camaraderie that we have as an Axe fam and how we're cheering each other on. It's, we're happy when others win, that
doesn't happen very often in sports.
It doesn't. No. I have my best friend, through the Axe fam, would be Felicia, and she's from my hometown, and she's my daughter's age. We don't even, we joke all the time. I think I just sent her a kind of an age gap TikTok, because we don't think about how much age difference there is between us. But I am cheering her on. Like, she just won, got second place at Asgard.
The German competition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that
And
we
a
were
tough,
just
huge
at.
one.
Yeah. And it's probably the closest to the world championships as far as competitors go. And she's knocking it out of the park in her throwing. And we traveled to Germany a couple of years ago, and she came first, I came second, and it came down to the two of us, but by 1 point.
Yeah.
And
like two throwers from Barrington.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yeah. And we won the teams there with myself and Felicia and John Buchanan from Shelburne. And I think the Germans were, a little surprised that we won, because they love their teams and they put their top throwers on their teams. That's how they pick their teams. Based on
it's not buddies, it's not friends. It's like who's the best, who's throwing best at this or the competition leading up. That'll be our team, because we want to. It's all about winning.
Yeah.
And I'll say something that I think is it's not recognized how great a feat it was. In my opinion, World Championships last year, we're in England. Suzy partners with Felicia and John Buchanan, which means so there's two divisions for the teams event, and same with individual. There's men's and women's. But in the teams, it's men's mixed or it's open. So if you're if it's a mixed like co-ed team, you compete in the men's.
Okay.
And Suzy, Felicia, and John took silver in the world championship in the men's division.
Stop it.
Yeah.
And they absolutely crushed it. It was like I got pretty emotional after it too, because I was like, this is incredible. It was a huge feat.
Honestly,
it was amazing.
It felt better than my third place. Like, it had way more meaning, because when we made it to the final had how many teams were in the final?
Probably
8 or 6?
6 or 8. Yeah, probably 8.
When they called our name, because we called ourselves Three's Company, and I remember hearing one of the other German teams, and I mean, we love the Germans; they're great. They were like, "Who's Three's Company? Who's Three's Company?"
That's cute.
And it was us, and we were the only ones. I think we were all the rest in the finals. We were the only co-ed team in there, and we just kept.
These are powerhouse teams too.
They are
the absolute best throwers in the world, no question. Everybody, and obviously. You're with them.
Yeah, we were down at the final two, and
that's
it
impressive.
was it was like we were just looking at each. What the heck are we here?
Amazing.
So it was just that feeling of of being able to do that with two women on the team was just
girl power.
Yeah, it felt awesome. It felt awesome in Flotax when we did it, but doing it on the world stage was just, it was awesome. I loved it.
How about a cheers to that? I think a silver medal at the Worlds, and then went on to win bronze in the individual. Yes. Suzy, I got to tell you, you're an inspiration to me in a lot of ways. And again, like the love you have for your community, the fact that you bring these events to your community, and the passion you show, not just for the sport, but also Nova Scotia. I think it's unmatched. And I want to thank you so much for being here. It means a lot.
Thank you.
All right. Well, best of luck at the Canadian Championships.
Thank you.
And you can catch this drink in the bio. Thank you, Kim, for a lovely cocktail once again.
You're welcome.
And good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Kim, another great guest. I think I've known Suzy probably, I'm going to say 7 or 8 years at this point. And the longer I know her, the more reverence I have for her. That would be the word. She is just a super inspiring person, and just happens to be this amazing axe thrower that, she blows me away all the time.
Yeah, you can tell immediately she has such a big heart too. Mm-hmm. So I'm so happy that I finally met her. Yeah, I mean, we've had Suzy's been here, Darren's been here, Tyler. We have these like fantastic world-class axe throwers. We're going to be speaking with Keola McGowan, who's the reigning world champion, who Suzy's looking to take that crown at some point down the road. They'll be battling that out. But first, they got the Canadian Championships, obviously, to do that. But before that happens,
We want to thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Double Bitter. Of course, thanks to our sponsors, Steel Canada. I want to thank BMV Media for all the production behind the scenes. Mark and Jamie, shout out to you guys. Our music, Doug Folkens. Kim, I want to thank you for your time and that amazing drink.
Thank
Ironworks.
you.
Ironworks to the rescue.
Yeah, absolutely. So good.
Where can folks find the recipe for that one?
Below in the notes in the bio too.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You can have the custom drink made just for Suzy Atwood. Thanks so much for joining us, folks. Join us next time when we talk to Keola McGowan. Peace.